Alright then, have a bit of a burp, have another burp. I said last week we talk about Riding Spirits, so I guess we'll talk about Riding Spirits. Riding Spirits, an interesting game, right? First one came out 2002, 2003. It's a bit bare bones, I'm going to be honest. The track list is tiny, and the tracks aren't especially interesting. But the real draw of the game is that, well, it says it on the cover as one of the reviews. It's Gran Turismo 3, but for bikes. And I feel like, you know, that's pretty accurate. The physics aren't great either, but the real draw is the bikes and the bike list. Even if the tracks aren't all that great, it's a pretty interesting game. The cornering technique is don't really bother braking, just turn it in and then slam it down the gears until you're in the right gear for the corner, and the bike should just sort of smush it. I'm going to say smush itself around the corner. That's the appropriate technique for Riding Spirits. I'm going to play it on I plan on playing it on the channel pretty soon. I want to get through. I want to finish the TT, and then I want to finish the unlocking that Kawasaki on MotoGP 3 first, and then I want to play a motocross game. But then after that, I'll play Riding Spirits, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. It's pretty interesting. It feels like there aren't that many races to actually do. It seems like it'll be a pretty short game. Same as Riding Spirits 2. The tracks in Riding Spirits 2 are slightly more interesting, because they managed to get Suzuka and Twin Ring Motegi, as well as a couple of fantasy tracks that actually seem, from, you know, I've played about half an hour of it so far, the fantasy tracks in Riding Spirits 2 seem way better than the ones in Riding Spirits 1. And also, as I mentioned, there is a Mountain Pass track. I mean, it's nothing special, you know. The road is about as wide as the one we're on now, except you're on a bike instead of in a car, so it seems even wider. And none of the corners are, you know, especially tight. But the game's pretty tricky, because if you even breathe on a wall, you are going to fall off. So you need to be careful doing that. Again, the draw is the bike list. There's a lot of bikes. There's a lot of bikes that I wouldn't have actually expected to be in a game from 2004 in Riding Spirits 2. I know that there are some off-road tracks for supermotos. It includes a TM, which we probably only know, or you Zoomers out there, we probably only know exists from Milestone games, but they got it in Riding Spirits as well. They also have brand of bikes I've never heard of. Well, actually, the name kind of rang a bell. I don't want to say I've never heard of them, but there's a Swedish bike in there called a Husaberg. But I haven't actually unlocked it yet, so I haven't seen what it looks like. Like I said, I've only played about half an hour of the game. But I'm going to play a little bit more of it when I'm done recording here, I reckon. It let me start off on... Obviously, it doesn't have the bike that I have in real life, which is a Chinese knockoff of a Suzuki. And the game doesn't let you start on a... Well, neither of the games have any bikes that are smaller than 250cc, but I guess that's fine for keeping your interest up, because you actually get to start on a bike that semi-performs, rather than working your way up from a dinky little 125 that barely moves. Yeah, they're pretty interesting. The physics are, like I said, are no good. But I feel like once you get used to them... Ooh, watch out for that wall. Get the technique down, then I think the games are fairly enjoyable. Like I said, I also bought some mecha games because I've been getting into mecha anime and more kind of mecha cyberpunk stuff, so I thought might as well play some games. Did I fuck up my car? Not that badly. I was just checking to see if looking back took the HUD away. I know it does in some games. Not in this one. As far as my PGR Let's Play goes, I know I said God knows how many weeks ago that I was planning on finally getting that going again. But this time I mean it, alright? Genuinely, I'm serious. I don't think there's too much of that game left to go. At least I hope not. I do not like PGR 1. Tell you what I do want to play though. I know I said that I hated HG Central, and I still do, but that doesn't mean I don't watch them sometimes, because I do play some pretty interesting racing games. Right now, they're doing, well, one of the people there is doing Sega GT for the Dreamcast. I don't have a Dreamcast. I mean, I should get a Dreamcast. I kind of want to play Sega GT. It looks pretty interesting. I've got Sega GT 2002 and Sega GT Online. And I was thinking about it, but I don't want to play. I don't want to play a Sega GT while someone else is playing a Sega GT. You know. Plus, playing PGR right now. I haven't really gotten into, you know, I can't really get into a Sega GT. Same way I can't really get into Gran Turismo 4 for some reason. Despite struggling for so long to actually get GT4 working and going so far as to buy a PS2 Slim, I've still not played more than 15 minutes of GT4. It would probably be worth it to get myself into that rather than Riding Spirits, which is a game I really like. Just, you know, the way the whole deal works in GT4 with like the introduction of used cars and stuff, to be honest, I'm not really into it that you can start out the game with like a GTST Skyline or whatever. I'm much more into games that, you know, the cars will cost a set amount of money and you start with a set amount of money, which means that to begin the game you have a set like couple of shit boxes to choose from, like in Gran Turismo 3. Like I'm sure used cars will grow on me, but you know, I just feel like I prefer to have my starter car semi-catered, you know, to the starting bit of the game. Not like it is in Gran Turismo 6, where your starter car is forced on you. But you know what I mean, you know, where like there are some you can choose from that are sort of better catered for the starting events. Anyway, there's a Celica. Skip past the picture of it again, but I guess we'll get a look at it in a minute. I want to do some rallycross. What have we got? A hill climb? Oh shit, might do a hill climb. Nah, I said I wanted to do some rallycross. We'll do some rallycross. Let's see. We'll jump back in my Ford. I'll probably be able to get the rallycross done quick enough that we can actually go and do the hill climb anyway. That's what I'm going to do. Especially because, you know, the rallycross tracks is like one lap is 30 seconds. I've done a whole recording session of driving nothing but Group B cars so far. I think I might see if I can keep that going when I get to the hill climb. Everyone likes a good bit of Group B, don't they? Oh, shitting hell. I wish that the timing board didn't replace the track map. I mean, I know that I've done this track a bunch of times before, and I should probably know. I can't, this recording session, I can't fucking keep my cars out the barriers. I've fucked up literally every car I've driven this week. And last week. I think I only actually drove one car last week. Oops, I need to stop skipping past the establishing shots so that I can get screenshots of the video to use for the thumbnail. Just got to remember, I've just got to actually look at where I'm going more than at the car, and I feel like that might help me actually navigate these tracks and not crash into everything in sight. Or I guess not in sight, since I'm not actually looking at what's going on. Nope. Got a little bit liberal with the cutting of that corner, and it backfired. Liberal obviously being a bad thing. Handbrake usage still a little excessive despite what I've been talking about earlier on. But it's not so bad, especially because the AI... There's another wall. Especially because the AI doesn't put up much of a challenge. It doesn't affect me too much if my cornering strategy isn't 100% on point. Rally cars, or rallycross cars, sorry, in this game are definitely going to be some of the hardest to unlock. The alternate costumes. There's a fighting game. Alternate liveries because the tracks are so short, you barely cover any ground, and unlocking liveries is based in this game entirely on how far you've actually driven the car. So I'm probably never going to get a new paint job for my Ford, is what I'm saying. Anyway, let's do a hill climb. What do you reckon? This one here at the bottom? Or this one here? Let's do the one in the middle, because it's one that I saw first. Peugeot 405, 22B, Audi Quattro. 31 miles to unlock the... Jesus. Well, I said I wanted to do the whole deal in Group B cars, so let's do the whole deal in Group B cars. And I'm definitely not going to get this episode shorter than 15 minutes, but who cares about that? Because we're doing a hill climb, and hill climbs are the best climbs. So, away we go, as I try to think of one last thing to talk about while we head up this here mountain. So looping back to Riding Spirits talk, the toge in that game is actually, yeah, it does go uphill, I think. It either goes uphill or it goes up a bit and then down a little bit more, because all of the maps have to be level in games that aren't in games that didn't get too much money thrown at them. I don't know why that is, why the starting line and finishing line have to be on the same plane. I mean, it makes sense for when you're doing circuits, because obviously the start line and the finish line is the same line. so you know they'd be on the same level. And in a game like this, the finish line is clearly up higher than the starting line. That's why it's called a hill climb. But like, I'm pretty sure there's a shitty Initial D game as well that was poorly developed, where for as much as you drive downhill on the tracks, you drive uphill as well. But you know, I can't remember too much about that. I just watched a shit video of it. But some soy boy, hate soy boys, hate cucks, hate, you know, I hate those obsessed with video games. I know I play them a lot, or I'd appear to play them a lot based on my whole YouTube experience that I'm offering here, but oh, that was pretty sick. But you know what I mean, you know, most of what I'm talking about when I mean YouTube soy boys is like, shit, I had an example. I swear I had an example of what I mean by YouTube soy boy, but then it totally slipped my mind. Hold on a minute, we've got another hill climb to go up, so if I sit here and think about it for long enough, maybe I'll remember what I mean. Oh yeah, it's a video titled like, that time X game did Y, or remember when blue blee blee, or something like that. It rubs me the wrong way. There are loads of things out there that just rub me the wrong way. I spend so much time getting rubbed the wrong way that a woman will never rub me the right way, if you see what I mean. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was this week's episode of Rallisport Challenge 2. Now allow the sweet, sweet sounds of a Peugeot, what, 305 I think it is, T16, to play me out. Well, now that I've been thinking about it, next week we'll probably do more Rallycross. Although I haven't done a crossover event in a while. Maybe I'll do one of those just for the hell of it. I mean, I'm gonna need to do it anyway to get any kind of completion done on this game. Let's have a look at the sheet of events. Quick save. What's going on? How much more is there left to do? Well, considering that, well, the rallies take longer, obviously, so I could probably try. Oh, that's a long rally. Jesus. I could probably try filling out a couple of these blocks in my next recording session. Definitely these two middle ones, which are mostly just events that take, I can't stop burping now for some reason, which are mostly just events that take 2 minutes tops. I should be able to do those. The rallying is going to take a little bit longer, but cross that bridge when we come to it, and then pretty soon we'll be